I hate that label. I don't really look at myself as an underground artist. Like, I'm so much more different from everybody.
Che's music had like a huge impression on me. So we've got to talk about him, and we've got to break down not just what's happening in the music, but what's happening in the trajectory of the entire career and the artistry of Mr. Che. So it had a huge impression on me because I am millennial. I am in maybe like 2010, 2011, I had Crystal Castles blasting in my car speaker. They had all of these very experimental sounds going on at the time. And I remember one time, I didn't let my mom hear my music very much back then. But when I did one time, she was like, "What the heck is this?"
What?
Like, listen to Doe Deer by Crystal Castles if you haven't before. And foreshadowing, Che has a track titled Doe Deer, and there's samples of Che's music using samples of Crystal Castles. And this is just one of those things where it's like, I'm definitely not just listening to some other rapper. There's also the duality of the alter ego that he's created, Sayso, and so many other things going on. So, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa Teal, and I am your awkward millennial music auntie. We are breaking down underground and all types of music here on my channel and discovering music and just having a good old time. So welcome aboard, and let's get into the career, the works, and the possible future of Mr. Che. So Che started out just as most other underground rappers do, by going viral on the TikTok and also, I believe, on the Twitter. And so Che was like a quiet person in school and made all of these beats and songs on BandLab just in his room, in his bedroom, just quietly. And he's just like, just going viral everywhere, becoming really well known, and just being quiet in general. I guess he's a quiet person until he gets in the studio, I suppose. And apparently his mom didn't even know about this until it had been going on, and getting off of the bus is what I've heard, that someone just let his mom know. And that's so funny to me. Like, imagine that from the mom's point of view. Like, oh, my teenager has been going viral and becoming a celebrity, and I had no idea. I wonder what that was like for them. Just crazy. And so that's how he started. In his early works, he went really viral for one song on a Plug and B beat. Everything was kind of in the early days of Che's music, 21 to 23, is all very kind of melodic, a little more chill, which is interesting if you started out hearing Rest and Bass and how crazy and in your face that album is. Then you go back and you listen to the earlier works and you're like, is this even the same person? However, there is still continuity with everything that Che has done, the way that his vocals are. He can be really versatile, where like everything is still so distinct with him. And I think that that's part of why he's been successful, is that you still know that you're listening to Che, even though like the genre or the feel or something is very different. So that's how he started, was kind of more generic sounding before he developed his own very distinct style. Besides the vocals, I would say, yeah, the beats were kind of generic back then, and he just had gone viral and he was rolling with it. And the thing that kept him consistent was that he was dropping consistently. So he would have one thing go viral, and instead of riding on that, he would drop more songs, and people were eating it up, and it was totally working for him. So Che's career really solidified him as an artist that is really going somewhere with this album, Sayso Says. Now, a lot of people talk about Rest and Bass because it got critically acclaimed, but if you listen to Sayso Says and then you listen to Rest and Bass, you'll have your appreciation for Rest and Bass, absolutely, because that album is amazing. But Sayso Says is so freaking cool because of a couple of reasons. One is because it's like a concept album. It's like the setting is that you're at a party and there's a first half of the album and a second half of the album, and there's an instrumental interlude in the middle of the album. And so the first half is like, oh, I'm celebrating, maybe I'm a little hazy, maybe I'm a little confused, but mostly everything's cool, everything's chill, everything's happy. You're getting a lot more of that melodic stuff in the first half. And then the crazy, super electronic interlude brings you to the second half of the album where he becomes Sayso and he says, I don't want peace no more. And it like embodies the craziness and the disorientation and the absolute insanity of the Sayso Says character. So he created like an alter persona, an alter ego, and that also is referenced in other songs, in other projects, so it's not just like isolated to this one album, Sayso Says. The other reason why Sayso Says is so freaking cool is because he's introducing this genre blending, sampling with electronic music in a way that is really well done. It's really intentional. It's not cheesy. It's not corny. He's sampling Crystal Castles, which is really cool for someone like me, a millennial who listened to them back in 2010. And they were doing really experimental stuff with electronic music back then. And now he has, and he references this in Rest and Bass as well, which I'll get to in a bit. And so he has these samples, and then in the track Get Naked of Sayso Says, he has like an anime, like a Japanese song in there that is really cool, the way that that's sampled. And there's just, you just have to listen to it. You just have to. I feel like this album, it didn't get enough attention. It solidified his fan base, definitely. When Rest and Bass came out, that got way more attention. Simply maybe because Sayso Says was so well received by the fans he already had, and then I actually didn't know about Che until Rest and Bass, and then I went back to Sayso Says, and I very much appreciated that album. And it's one of those ones. It's like Paramore's Misery Business, where like that album is like their first great, amazing album. They have great albums after that, but you always go back to Riot. I'm sorry, not Misery Business. You always go back to Riot, and you're always like, wow, like this one is it. In this album, there is everything. And that's how I feel about Sayso Says. And a couple other things about Sayso Says. In the Alice Practice song by Crystal Castles, she says children shouldn't play with dead things. And that's why the song title is titled in Sayso Says, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. So he's like very directly referencing this. And then he does that again with the title track, Doe Deer, in Rest and Bass. And then it is Schoolgirl Sashimi, like there's allusions to like sort of anime, which is also super popular with the underground scene. And so after the interlude, when everything gets crazy, the title track, It's My Party and I'll Die If I Want To. And then in the track, Nunca Hacer Cocaína, it's because the character does the substance and then starts unaliving everyone. Wow, I couldn't think of that word. And then, of course, it ends in the title track, My Favorite Color is Red, because Sayso has unalived everyone and everything is red. So we know that Che is really serious about his career. You know that he's really intelligent because everything he does is so heavily curated, so intentional. You get the whole package between the visuals, the persona, the production, the vocals. Everything with Che is super, super promising. And you can also see from interviews from this as well. And this is why I appreciate watching so many interviews and that artists go on interviews. You get to know kind of what their goals are. And he does not think of himself as just an underground artist. He doesn't think of himself as just a rapper either. And we know that he's really got this melody thing going on. He knows how to sing. So I think that from Che in the future, we're going to see a lot, and we're not going to be disappointed. I think that it would be really cool to see like another concept album from him, like maybe like a like heavier, deeper into the concept with like some storyline. I think that because he has this sort of concept from Sayso Says, he's built this alter ego and everything. I can really see him being like an Easter egg type of artist, like sort of like the way Taylor Swift does, but in his own type of way for his own type of audience, right? And I think that I can also see him, so he's done features with people. Sorry, my chair just made a noise. I can see he's done features with people, and he does a really good job of fitting in to other people's projects, like that track on Osama-san's Psychotic album, FMJ. He has clearly his own style. As soon as he comes on, you know that that's Che. Sometimes in features, I'm like, who am I even listening to? Like, did it even change artists? Like, who's rapping now? In that track, you know that it's Che. Every time he features, you know it's Che, but he's not taking away from the style of the other artists and the other projects. So I can really see him collabing, maybe even with someone that's not in the rap space and someone of a different genre. There's some themes in some of his tracks with some guitars, and some almost has like a rock, like almost like a heavy metal feel. I can see him collaborating away from the rap genre and doing more blending, maybe with electronic music, maybe with rock, maybe with like metal or something. I don't know. I'm interested to see what you guys would like to see Che do as well. I know that he has like just only good things coming, and he has high big visions and high hopes, and at around 1 million listeners a monthly right now. I think that there's, gonna be way more. He's built like a very solid fan base, and 1 million per month on Spotify is quite a bit, but there's quite a bigger room to grow there. Like Two Hollis, for example, just a couple months ago, he was at 2 million, and now I think he's pushing, I know he's definitely over 4, maybe pushing 5 at this point. So the blow up of Two Hollis has been pretty quick, and I think if Che has another project and does more live shows and everything, I think that will grow just as, if not more quickly than what we've seen with Two Hollis, which I think I will maybe do my next video on the career of Two Hollis as well. So what do you guys think of Che? What do you guys think of the 2 most recent albums? Or have you guys been around since the beginning? And how has your journey been following Che since the beginning, if you have been there? Let me know what else you guys think I should make videos on. And thank you very much for coming along to the ride over here. I'm sorry that I'm a little awkward sometimes, but I'm just excited about talking about this stuff. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.